Here are the nominees for Best Visual Effects.
They look like they hate each other up there.
Yeah, I don't know if I could tell that. I can just tell that
there's worse stuff. They won't do press together. There's apparently beef right there.
Theaters are, of course, entirely empty. Do understand that having people buy tickets is an important part of success in your industry. Rachel Zegler, I guess, didn't get the memo.
I'll quickly mention this. The son of Snow White producer Mark Platt, Jonah Platt is the son's name. He is speaking out publicly against Rachel Zegler and blaming her for the film's catastrophic failure at the box office.
Hollywood thrives on fairy tales, but when the princess and the queen trade glass slippers for legal grenades, you've got a story that's pure dynamite. Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot's Snow White drama has morphed into a feud so explosive it's threatening to eclipse the movie itself. Whispers are swirling that Zegler's slapped Gadot with a $100 million defamation lawsuit, and the fallout's got fans, insiders, and Disney execs picking jaws off the floor. How did a glittery remake spiral into this chaos? Strap in, this one's a roller coaster you won't want to miss.
I mean, he's totally right. Now, of course, as we covered, the movie is terrible anyway in its own right. It was probably going to underperform regardless. People are tired of the soulless cash grab remake thing.
The Snow White live-action remake crashed into theaters on March 21st, 2025, and let's just say it didn't get the fairy tale ending Disney dreamed of. With a budget that ballooned past $270 million, some insiders peg it at a staggering $350 million when you factor in marketing and last-second fixes. It barely clawed back $43 million at the domestic box office. Critics sneered at it as a soulless cash grab. Audiences skipped it like a rainy picnic, and the whole vibe was less happily ever after and more what just happened. But the real fireworks aren't in the ticket stubs. They're in the backstage meltdown that turned this enchanted reboot into a Hollywood horror flick. And trust me, it's a doozy.
The movie has all kinds of problems that could be pinned partly on the producer. Like, the producer did not do a good job. Nobody who produced this movie did a good job. And that's apart from all of the political controversy started by the actress. So the movie had all kinds of problems creatively and conceptually. There's no doubt that she drove the final nail into this movie's coffin. She probably drove the final two or three nails into the coffin.
When Disney unveiled their golden ticket, Rachel Zegler, a 20-year-old phenom fresh off a Golden Globe win for West Side Story, landed Snow White, a breakout star they banked on to charm Gen Z pair her with Gal Gadot, the Wonder Woman powerhouse with a worldwide legion of fans, as the evil queen, and it's a casting coup that screamed box office gold. The studio went hard, flooding Ziegler's promo slate with talk show spots, social media blitzes, even behind-the-scenes snippets to hype her as the face of this modern twist. On paper, it was a match made in heaven. New blood meets proven star power. In reality, it was a powder keg waiting for a spark.
And a lot of what you see with Zegler is really just this pretty common Gen Z mentality and approach to work. That she believes that she should be able to express herself and speak her truth or whatever nonsense, regardless of the consequences to everybody else.
That spark ignited when Zegler got vocal. She didn't just plug the film, she took a sledgehammer to the 1937 classic, calling it outdated and downright weird. The prince stalks her. Creepy, right? She quipped, pitching a Snow White who's all about leading, not swooning. Disney purists flipped, accusing her of trashing a sacred relic. Then came the gut punch. August 2024, after the trailer racked up 120 million views, she tweeted Free Palestine in a casual flex. The internet detonated. Some hailed her guts. Others screamed she'd cursed the film. Backlash hit like a tidal wave, and that's when the real storm started brewing.
In reality, you have a job. You're getting paid to do this job. You signed on the dotted line. You took on the role. You took the job. And that job comes with certain basic responsibilities. And one of the most basic is the responsibility to control yourself and comport yourself a certain way publicly so that you don't harm the project and thereby harm all the hundreds of other people who are working on it.
Gal Gadot's world turned upside down fast. The Israeli actress, ex-IDF soldier, and vocal Israel supporter started getting death threats, vile, relentless ones. Sources tie it straight to Zegler's post, her pro-Palestine stance smashing into Gadot's roots like a freight train. Disney freaked, pumping cash into Gadot's security, hiring extra muscle to shield their evil queen. Producer Mark Platt jetted to New York, pleading with Zegler to yank the tweet and douse the flames. She dug in, refusing to back off, claiming it's her voice, her right. Gadot played it cool, tossing out generic peace for all lines, but the rift was gaping, and what unfolded next flipped the whole game on its head.
It's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about
she's gonna die.
true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Production was already a dumpster fire before the tweet storm. Costs skyrocketed. Reshoots dragged on. Costumes got overhauled. Sets turned into money-sucking black holes. Insiders say the final tally might have hit $350 million, though Disney's tight-lipped. Test audiences shredded early cuts, griping that Snow White and the Evil Queen had zero spark, like they'd rather be anywhere else. Crew blamed the lead's icy off-screen vibe seeping into every frame. Those big showdowns felt forced, not fierce. The studio doubled down, tossing millions at dazzling effects and reworked musical numbers, praying spectacle would paper over the cracks. Spoiler, it didn't. Viewers left screenings yawning, not spellbound. Then came the clash that lit up the rumor mill.
Our rights are on the line, folks. Our reproductive rights.
Ugh.
Come on,
Go get Cheshire Cat.
go vote blue. And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button.
Picture a promotional photo shoot for the streaming drop, months after principal filming. Zegler's in her Snow White gown, Gadot's draped in Evil Queen black, and the tension's thick enough to choke on. Word from the set says Zegler stalled the gig, obsessing over hair, tweaking makeup, chasing flawless shots. Gadot, clock ticking, allegedly grumbled about perfectionism wasting everyone's day. Zegler overheard, and boom, pandemonium. Shouts ricocheted, Zegler accused Gadot of poisoning the film with politics. Gadot fired back that Zegler's ego was the real villain. Crew froze as the stars unloaded, and those leaks spread faster than a tabloid headline. But hold tight, it's about to get wilder.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird. Super weird. So we didn't do that this time.
Yeah. Here's the bombshell shaking Tinseltown. Rumors claim Zegler's gearing up a $100 million defamation lawsuit against Gadot. The story goes that Gadot trashed her in private. Think elite dinners, hushed industry powwows, calling her a spoiled rookie who doomed Snow White with her antics. Zegler's camp says those barbs circulated, torching her budding rep right as she's climbing the ladder. No legal docs have surfaced, so it's all smoke for now, but it's thick smoke. Some reckon it's Zegler dodging the flop's fallout, a preemptive jab to shield her image. Others say Gadot's too polished for petty smack talk. Her track record's clean as a whistle. Either way, the whispers got everyone buzzing, and there's more fuel yet.
You don't particularly see people who, look like me or are me playing roles like that. So it was definitely, when it got announced, it was a huge.
You mean your guess is as good as mine,
It was
ethnicity?
trending on Twitter for days because all of the people were angry.
Jonah Platt, son of producer Mark Platt, stormed into the fray in late March 2025. He hit X with a searing takedown, pinning the film's catastrophic crash on Zegler. She shoved her politics into promo, chased clout, and lost half the audience. He raged, claiming her stunts gutted the box office. Fandom fractured hard. Zegler's loyalists crowned her a fearless trailblazer. Gadot's crew lauded her grace under siege. Online, it's a slugfest. Some blast Zegler as an entitled newbie who sank a sinking ship. Others cheer her for rattling Disney's cage. The studio's sweating, watching the inferno spread, and they're not the only ones feeling the heat.
You don't particularly see people who, look like me or are me playing roles like that. So it was definitely, when it got announced, it was a huge.
You mean your guess is as good as mine,
It was
ethnicity?
trending on Twitter for days because all of the people were angry.
Disney's in crisis mode, slashing and burning to save face. The premiere got gutted, no press, just posed pics, and they kept Zegler and Gadot miles apart. Zegler's career's wobbling. She's got Evita in London lined up, but this disaster could scare off major players. Gadot's rebounding, locking new roles, her star too big to dim. The film might hit streaming early, a frantic grab to recoup losses, but the buzz isn't about dwarves or apples. It's all feud, all day. Critics roasted the final cut as a pretty shell with no soul. Those Snow White Evil Queen clashes Stale as week-old bread, thanks to real-life frost you can't airbrush out.
It was this
people that we
awakening
need
of-
to educate, the people that we need to love into awareness.
Love them in the right direction.
Yeah, because there's nothing more effective than 19-year-olds educating the rest of the voting public while yelling, "Okay, boomer."
Zoom out, and the production's a laundry list of flops. Beyond budget blowouts and test screen bombs, there's the dwarf fiasco. Disney swapped real actors for CGI magical creatures after inclusivity flack, only to tick off more fans and spike costs. The script got butchered a dozen times to dodge Zegler's Stalker Prince beef, leaving a plot insiders call a Frankenstein mess with no pulse. Early hype had execs eyeing Oscars, now they're ducking rotten fruit. Crew's livid too, stunning forest shots and slick effects drowned by the scandal, their sweat reduced to a footnote in this clown show.
You know what? Maybe Disney does. Maybe you're a tool, you're a pawn in this film. You didn't write it, you didn't direct it. You have nothing to do with the creation of Snow White.
Right.
You should shut up and do the job. These people, and this is the difference between a business owner or someone who does very well for themselves in the private sector to become wealthy. This person was born looking a certain way and has a God-given ability to lie.
Let's dig deeper into the political tangle, because that's where the venom festers. Zegler's Free Palestine drop wasn't her first rodeo. She's been loud on socials, from reproductive rights to boomer-bashing quips. Gadot's no stranger to heat either. Her 2021 Imagine video got flayed, and her IDF past keeps her a lightning rod. Insiders say Disney begged both to zip it. Zegler got a tone it down memo. Gadot, a don't engage nudge. Neither listened. Zegler kept posting, Gadot kept deflecting, and the clash went from subtext to headline. Some crew claim it warped the set vibe. Extras whispering, take stalling, a fairy tale soured by geopolitics nobody signed up for.
It's really what acting is, to pretend. They didn't earn it the same way, and so it comes with this entitlement. The movie went over budget, right? Went over about $250 million. Some of you want us to hire actual dwarf humans, and then we thought we would have CGI magical creatures. How about this? We'll still offend the dwarves, but we'll CGI dwarves. So we'll guarantee no employment for little people while getting rid of this other component that warranted CGI. It was the worst decision they could possibly make.
They did this before all this beef. The first line in the trailer is Snow White is like, "Can we just be nice?" And the queen, the evil queen, goes, "I don't remember you being so opinionated."
So what's the end game? Will this Zegler-Gadot showdown bury Snow White as a cursed footnote? A grim lesson in remake roulette? Or could it jolt Hollywood awake, make them rethink these bloated retreads and the egos steering them? The off-screen saga's outshining the film tenfold, and it's not winding down. Zegler's stars flickering. From Spielberg's darling to a hot potato studios might dodge. Gadot's tougher to dent, but if the narrative pins her as the bad guy, even she's not bulletproof. What's your take? Did Zegler overreach, or is Gadot masking a slyer edge? Hit the comments, because this fairy tale's finale is anyone's guess.